Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's session in the King Squares Inc. Masterclass series. Okay, and today our focus is fully funded opportunities in the arts. Okay, and with me, we have Friday Otuya, and it's going to be a wonderful session. Once I read a brief background of our special guest, you guys would really be amazed. But then, before I would bring him up, I just want to just run through what we will be discussing today. So, like I said earlier on, it's about fully funded opportunities in the arts. So many persons feel there are no scholarship opportunities available for students in the arts, that scholarship opportunities mainly are for those in the sciences. That's where more research is being done, and that's where government and private organizations and individuals as well put in so much funds. Okay, but then um, our guest today would dispel that myth. In according to him, he actually said there are more opportunities in the arts than even in the sciences. So we'll hear more of that. And then what we'll also discuss, we'll generally talk about master's degree scholarships. Okay, what do you need to get a master's degree scholarship? What's the application process like? What are the documents you need to get ready? Okay, and talk about full funded opportunities, PhD, okay, PhD positions, even directly from your BSc as well. Okay, so this is one of the things we're talking about. Then where to access these fundings, okay, and one very important thing, how to position yourself, okay, to be able to access these fundings. Because what I realized over time is that persons just feel okay, I just want to leave the country, I just want to leave Nigeria, I just want to leave Africa, I just want to travel abroad, but it's beyond that. Okay, how can you make your application stand out? Okay, I just did a brief research today, and our guest also, he was a Chevening awardee, okay, by the UK government, and only 2 to 3% of applicants actually get the Chevening scholarship. So 2 to 3%, that's a very minute fraction. So how did they do it? Because also a Chevening scholarship awardee, okay, and even though he did not he did not follow through, he's in the US currently and got another scholarship opportunity for his masters in international studies. Okay, so that's where he's currently. So we'll talk about how did he ace the Chevening essays. Okay, how was he able to convince himself? How was he able to distinguish himself among that large pool of potential candidates? And okay, we'll also be sharing a bit about his story, his personal experiences, and basically words of advice that can help one or two of us so we can at least be better prepared, okay, for us to actually be able to um, get the master's, PhD opportunities that we seek, okay? And so I'm saying we have more persons joining in. So if you're here already, please do share the link. Tell your friends we are live. Okay, let them know we are live. You share the link. Also, if you're yet to subscribe, I believe you have already subscribed if you're here anyways. So, but do hit the subscribe button. Okay, so share the link. Let your friends know that we are live. Because I would soon be handing over to our guest, and I would not want you to miss any part of this session. Trust me, I am super excited myself to to, to be live with our guest today. So I'm also with my own notes to be able to jot things down, okay, so I can take things away as just too funny will say. So you guys should be ready, really. Okay. So just I'll just give us about a minute thereabouts. So if you're here, let me know in the comment section where your name and where you are joining us from. Okay, just let me know in the comment section your name and where you're joining us from. Okay, and like I said, in a short while I'll be handing over to our host, but I just want us to be sure that we are ready. Okay, I don't want anybody to tell me you couldn't benefit maximally. I want us to be able to ask the questions. That's why we're joining live. Okay, once the stream has ended, you may not be able to ask your questions as you would want to. So that's why we're here live. So now, if you're here, let us know in the comment section and share the link. Like I said, let your friends also join in. Okay. So quickly, I would read the bio, just a brief background of our guest. Okay. Okay, I can see we have Billy. Billy is joining in from Abuja, Nigeria. Henry as well joining from Nigeria as well. Okay. Henry, you're welcome. Billy, you're welcome. So I will just read a brief background of our guests so we can proceed. Okay, so quickly. So Friday Otuya is a journalist, okay, and a social development worker and UK Chevening awardee. Like I said, this is 2-3% of applications, please. What he did is just extraordinary, okay? And he started out on Radio Nigeria, Benin City, Bronze FM. Okay, we're having Best Manokolo joining us from Edo State. So Best Manokolo, yeah, it was in Edo State. Osabu Esther as well from Edo State. Perfect. So he worked there and then also worked with Uniben FM, that's University of Benin FM, African Independent Television, AIT, Fisher News Story, amongst others. Okay. And he reported on major socio-economic issues across Africa, including electronic waste management, technology and innovation, government IT policy, the electoral process, transportation, conservation, migration, and other issues. Okay. Friday thrives on both radio and TV at the national and international level. Okay, as I mentioned earlier, he's also a social development worker. Okay, Friday is well traveled. You guys should just hold on. You would. I want to take my time to read this. Okay, he has worked with community leaders across Nigeria, Togo, Benin Republic, Kenya, and the Central African Republic to provide basic community amenities while sharing a message of hope and reconciliation in societies ridden with division. Okay, he is also the vice president, okay, of the American Constitution Society, University of Wyoming, USA, a global student ambassador of the university, a justice of the Associated Students of the University of Wyoming, and is a chaplain at the local correctional facility in the US. You guys see, this is a lot, but I'm going to ensure I read through it. I know why I'm reading through it. I know I'm taking my time. Okay. So, and he graduated with a bachelor's degree in mass communication from the University of Benin. So he's a University of Benin alumnus, okay? And he's a master's degree student of international studies at the University of Wyoming, USA. He loves studying, running, and biking. So if you are a University of Benin alumnus as well, I think we have one or two of them here already. So if you are, let us know in the comments. So Friday or two, I finished on University of Benin. Okay, so that's a plus. So Friday, I will be handing the floor over to you now, so you can take us from here. So once more, I would let you guys know if your friends are not yet in here, go and invite them. Let them know that we are live. Share the link. Share the link. Share the link. This is the last. This is the last broadcast. Yeah, this last I'm going to be saying this. Ensure you share the link. Join in, and Friday will be taking us on a very wonderful journey. Okay, I just want you to be rest assured, have your notes, be ready with your questions. Even while he's going to be talking, some of your questions will definitely be answered. Okay, but still, ensure you take note of your questions. You can let us know. You can drop your questions in the comments. I will highlight them during the course of the program. Okay, so let us know if you have any question during the session, and also listen with rapt attention. Take down your notes, and then I am rest assured. I'm sure already that this session is going to be very impactful. Okay, so Friday, so yeah, um, the floor is yours. You can take us from here.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Can you hear me clearly? Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, I can. I can
All
hear you
right, sounds
clearly.
good. So Emmanuel, feel free to interrupt me whenever you want or wherever you want to make maybe I can
Okay,
recap some things or pause or something. But I want
all
people to
right.
get as much as possible from this session.
Okay,
All right, thank you
definitely, I
very
will.
much. Thank you so much for the introduction. I really appreciate so much. Like you said, my name is Friday Otuya. I'll just give a very brief background of myself from Nigeria up until now. I was born in Warri in Nigeria. How many of you guys? I'm sure you guys know Warri. That's why I was born. That's why I grew up. I went to the University of Benin. I read mass communication for 4 years. Graduated with a second class upper. Thereafter, I worked in Lagos, worked with AIT, worked with a couple of other organizations affiliated with some groups here and there. And I think it was from 2012 2020, early 2020, mid 2020, basically, that's when I started nurturing the thought of doing my master's degree abroad. A friend of mine told me about the Chevening Scholarship and a couple of other scholarships, and I prepared intently and purposefully. I applied my very first time of applying, and of course, I was shortlisted for interview, went for the interview, and about 3 months later, I got an email that I was awarded the scholarship. Was so happy about it. In that same period, also, I applied to a university here in the U.S., University of Wyoming, and I was admitted. I got a scholarship also, very attractive scholarship, I must add, and I came to the US here. So it's been very interesting looking at my. I used to say to people, I said last year that as at 2020 January February, I had no clue I'll be coming doing my masters abroad. I had not planned to do it. I was planning to do my masters at the University of Lagos because I was working in Lagos, but things happened and plans changed, and here I am today. I share this because I want you to know that it is possible. That's the first mindset you must have. It's possible. When I used to hear of the Chevening Scholarship, it looks very intimidating and very prestigious, and it is intimidating and prestigious, to be honest. When I hear of the Commonwealth Scholarship, Fulbright Scholarship, it's for people who are first class students who have stellar records in academics and all of that, but it's possible. And that was the mindset I had when I met with the friend of mine who connected me to some of these things. I knew it was possible, and I worked intently at it. Everything I'm going to say is not going to make any sense to you if you don't believe it's possible. Just the way you're watching my session right now, I watched the sessions of people like this in Lagos. I watched sessions, I took notes. I don't want to mention names, but I watched a number of sessions on YouTube, and I was also taking notes. I can do this, I can do this, and here I am today. I've done it. So I would be surprised that perhaps next year some of you will be here already, because it's possible. If you focus on it and work hard, it's possible. That's the first thing to note. I would want to work with this slide before I go to my notes I have here and open the floor for questions. I'm going to talk and I'm going to share my experiences and give you some points, but I want you to extract from me, because I don't really know how much, or from the perspective you're coming from. Some of you have applied for opportunities before. Some of you, this is your very first time. Some of you, it's like you just even stumbled here. You're not even sure if you can apply. Some of you, you think you've applied for others. You've even got to some opportunities, but maybe you never had funding. So I want you to ask me questions a lot more and extract as much information as possible from me so that I can be of benefit to you. So I'm going to share this slide. Let me see how I can share my share slides. Let me see. Okay. Opportunities of the arts. Not particularly comprehensive. Can you see my slide? Let me see. I'm not sure it's been shared yet. Give a second. Slides. The opportunities. Maybe Mara, you might want to help here. I think I don't know if my screen is being seen, or maybe I can even attempt to log in through here and just confirm real quick. So I'm sure I'm being seen fine. Okay, can you see my
Okay,
screen already?
I'm with you. I'm with you
Can you
still.
see my screen?
Okay, not
Can you
yet,
see
not yet.
not yet? Okay. Opportunities in the art. Share slides. It should go. Fine. Okay. Maybe I'll need to just upload this again for myself. Share slides. My computer. Click here. Open. Let me see. Wait a second. Oh, I'm getting a notification. Come on. Um, um, there's a window that's not leaving here. Come on. Okay, I
Okay,
think it wants me to just. I'm gonna share my screen. I'm gonna take it off with
okay,
share
okay,
entire
okay.
screen.
I want your sets. Once it comes on, and then you'll be able
Yeah.
to. I
The
would say.
guest user can upload to slide text. Okay, so okay, I see. If I attempt it doesn't work, I'm gonna just share my screen directly. I'm just gonna show you what I intend to show you from my screen
Oh,
directly.
oh, all right. I think that works as well. That works as well.
Yeah, that works. Yeah. Okay, let me just share my screen. So
Okay.
share screen. Select Windows screen. Share entire screen. Basically, you can see my entire screen. I presume, right? Can you see everything?
Okay.
Can you see my screen now? I suspect you can see it now, right? Oh, I I think the slide is now showing. Can you see I mean, my slide on my screen? Which can you see?
Yes, your slide is live now. Your
My
slide is
slide is
live now.
live now. Okay, I think there
Yes,
was a
it is.
some technical.
Clinching opportunities in the arts. Yes, you're
Okay,
live
great.
now.
So that's
Yes.
the first page. So clinching opportunities in the arts. I just go to the next one, and these are some of the opportunities that I've gotten. I just got a few pictures. This is one of the senators representing the state of Wyoming here in the U.S. Senator John Barrasso. I met him at a football game, and we talked and interacted. Um, and against the norm in Nigeria, government people are very free and accessible here. So there was no policeman or mobile police or armed forces or SSS guy, hovering around him. He was just strolling like a normal person. And I saw him, I knew him because I was following American
Interesting.
politics. And I met him, I shook his hand. I said, John Barrasso, this is, he said, yeah, this is me and everything. I talked with him, took a photograph with him. The next photograph is the governor of the state of Wyoming, John Mark Gordon. I met him at a football game and I just saw him. I was like, hey, Governor Gordon. And I said, yeah. And I just went to meet him and I shook his hands and we talked and took a photograph. And these are interviews I did because I'm a journalist. I kept on my talent, my skills here. I interviewed a couple of folks at a football game. And these are all opportunities. There are several I will show you about my Instagram page too. So you can just see some of the opportunities I got. I think let me scroll down a bit. This is my Instagram page. A second. So this is my photograph I've been choosing for Chevening. I'm sure you guys must have seen people with this photograph at several points. When you win the Chevening scholarship, you have to take this photograph. And this was like 3 days or less into the US. I was just 3 days old in the country. I was in a hotel when I took the photograph there. This is at the football game. This is at the local radio station. I volunteer at the local radio station, Wyoming Public Radio. So I work with them here. So
Um,
this is it.
amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
So irrespective of whether you're from Africa or from Nigeria, you can still come here and still work and still your skills are still relevant. This is just like 1 month into the US. I was already volunteering with the radio station and doing stuff with them. Um, this was my interview with a government official in the state of Wyoming. I was able to interview her and ask some questions about public cybersecurity here in the state.
Okay.
This was a presentation I did on Nigeria at the African Day event here. I can see my screen, right? Or can you?
Yes, we can see your slide.
My
Can
slide.
see your slide.
Okay, you need
Yes,
to
the
see my
slide is
screen. Oh, I need to
okay.
change it to my screen a second. Let me just share my screen. I was like, oh, share screen. Let's see. Entire screen. You can see my screen now, right? Let me stop sharing my slide, I think. Move from stream. Can you see my screen now?
Yes, it's very blurry though. Okay.
Still,
Yes,
still
perfect.
blurry?
Perfect now. Perfect now.
Okay. Yes, I was just trying to say this was when I did a presentation on Nigeria. These are international, the ISS staff here. So I did a presentation on Nigeria. So there are opportunities to present about your country and things you do and just give people that international feel of what's it called, being a Nigerian in that sense. I was also talking about me sort of working with the radio station right here. That's what I was talking about before. I interviewed a couple of persons I still do to date. Um, I interviewed a couple of other persons too. Then I was able to do a presentation in a class, several classes basically. This was on a travel class about my travels in Africa and traveling in Africa basically. I was able to share my experiences with them. Um, this was a meeting we had with the president of the university, John Ed Seidel. These are other student leaders in Wyoming here, and we're able to talk
Ama-
about life on
amazing.
campus. This is pretty much like the number one staff of the university, Ed
Okay.
Seidel. So we had a dinner with him and we interacted. This is of course family. Might talk about her a bit later, but this is family. Um,
Okay.
this is new family here in the US. Um,
Okay.
mhm. um, and of course, this was when I went to Harvard, the East Coast. This is Boston, Harvard. This is Harvard University. I went to I can't be in the US and not go to Harvard. So I went to Harvard to just go have a feel.
I can imagine.
To Harvard. This is MIT. These are top universities, some of the best universities in the entire world. Harvard,
True.
MIT, uh, a famous library in MIT, famous location in MIT. And then the one famous Nigerian that went to MIT, you might know, is Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala. She finished from MIT, the current
Yes. Yes.
um, World Trade Organization president. I went there
Yes.
to just get a feel of the campus, preparation for PhD application and things like that. This was New York, the Statue of Liberty behind me,
Yeah.
um, Manhattan Island and Statue of Liberty, Times Square, New York, uh, Empire State Building. I'm just sharing all of these experiences because I'm going to tell you guys the reason why I'm sharing all this. And this is when I went to DC, Washington, DC, Marine Corps Memorial, US Capitol, Abraham Lincoln Memorial, the National Mall, um, African American Museum, Museum of African American History, basically, Martin Luther King Jr., his memorial, Abraham Lincoln Memorial, Georgetown University, another top university here in the US. And the others are basically the things I'm involved with. Now, I'm going to stop sharing my screen and go to the slide right now. And a second, stop screen, and then share slides. Opportunities might take some time again to come up. I don't know. I think, well, we'll see. Okay, good. It didn't take some. So I'm sharing all this because it's worth giving your best for. It's worth striving for. It's worth
True.
sacrificing for. It's worth going without food for. It's worth
Mm.
saving for. It's worth going through sleepless nights for. I'm having fun in this country. I'm studying. I'm doing what I love to do. I am basically studying for free. I am getting paid. I am uh, getting prepared for leadership in my country, all for free, basically. But it didn't come for you to get those opportunities. You need to work hard. You need to be willing to work hard and put in the work. And that's why I say it's worth sacrificing for. It's worth working hard for. It's worth going through sleepless nights for. It's fun, basically. Um, Next slide, of course, this is family here, people I've met and people that have become part of my life. um, University website is one of the places to access fund as I go into the next point right now. Where to access funding? Most people, when they're looking at opportunities in the arts and they look at the Commonwealth Scholarship, the Children's Scholarship, Erasmus, the Swedish Institute Global Service for Global Professional Scholarship, and there are other well-known scholarships, Fulbright and the rest. But the reality is this: the competition for those scholarships are pretty tough. You must really be outstanding. You must distinguish yourself. You must there must be something very special about you. I mean, in my time for the Children's Scholarship, over 8,000 Nigerians applied, basically, just from Nigeria alone. Globally, we had over 60,000 applicants. And all of them, you have first class students, you have people who have gone to the best universities, some of them have worked in top companies around the world. What do you have that distinguishes you, that makes you distinct from the others? So it's pretty much demanding. But going to university website is what many people don't know about. I just went to the website of the University of Wyoming. Someone said I'm still on the first slide. Am I still? I thought I'm on the fourth slide. Let me see. Where to access funding. Let me see the comment. Someone just made a comment a second. Okay. So I can see your slide. Yes, I can. Just going to some. Okay. Am I? You guys make some comment. Am I still on the very first slide? Or am I on the slide where it says how to access funding? Am I still on? What slide am I? Someone make a comment. Someone who's live. Osayanda, Omorose, and Akin Favor. Can you make a comment? Okay, best man Okolo. Okay, I'm just going to continue. I think I'm doing good. So look at university websites, because many people, they just focus on these top opportunities which are very competitive. Go to look at the website of the university you're interested in. Many of the funding opportunities I've got from the University of Wyoming are not like super prestigious, but it's funding and we need funding, basically. But you can't get those funding when you just don't go into their website. So when you identify a good university, go to your department, maybe I mean, arts and the University of Wyoming, maybe University of Denver, University of North Carolina or South Carolina or University of Florida, or many of the California universities, University of California, Berkeley, Harvard, Yale, Princeton, and the rest of the Ivy Leagues. Go to their website. As a master's degree, if you're looking at master's degree scholarship, go to their website, look at what's possible, and email them. And I'm going to share a page on that. Do emailing. I learned that many opportunities. Okay, thank you very much. I can see your comments now. Many of the opportunities you may not necessarily know about them except you ask about them. Now, when coming to the US, I was lucky, and perhaps there was some funding from my department to cover my flight. So I didn't have to pay for my flight, but you wouldn't know. It's not advertised on the website that, oh, once you want to come from Africa, you don't need to pay for your flight. It's not there. But when you ask about it and you initiate a conversation, you get to know that, okay, there is some fund that can help cover for your flight. There is some fund that can help cover for this and that. So learn to email and ask questions. And I'll show you a brief example. This was an email I sent. You can see the date. You can see my screen. Let me just share my screen a second. A second. Let me share my screen. I need to share. So I want it to be really practical. Share screen. Share entire screen. Allow. Okay. If you can see my screen, just let me know in the comment section. I don't know if you can see my screen. Okay, I think you can now. Yes, I can. Thank you very much, Emmanuel. Okay, so this is email. You can see what I did here. I sent an email to on this. Go up again. This is pretty much graduate admission application information. This was this was 2021, early last year when I was thinking of opportunities, and I emailed my department. I emailed the grad school. I emailed the global department. I emailed the admissions office. I copied some people basically, and I said, "My name is Friday Otuya. I'm a journalist and international development specialist in Africa." Pretty short, too much detail. I think I have the requisite background skills and career aspiration to be part of the international studies program at the University of Wyoming. Okay, here's my statement of purpose. This is a copy of my statement of purpose. It then goes to there. They can read about it, my statement of purpose, and see how it is like. I'm not going to share this document with you, but of course, you can just see it's pretty much brief, just a page. I mean, just a page and a little. And then I wrote about my background. 1999, ethnic conflict broke out in the town of Nigeria, and I developed a sort of statement, a narrative, and I told them how my background as a during my undergraduate study had helped me, what I intend to do during my master's degree program, and then the long-term aspiration of my life, basically. And then I left it there, basically. So they just once they read this, you know, okay,
Amazing.
this is the personal statement of this person. It's just pretty much short. But this is short, but I tell you, for me to develop this statement up to this level, it took me about 2 months or more. So it's hard work to write a personal statement. Very, very hard work. And I'm gonna be very honest with you, it's hard work. If you write a casual personal statement that has no depth, don't expect much response. It's hard work. But then they've read my personal statement. They said, okay, I've got questions. There's an application fee of $50, and I wanted them to waive the application fee for me. And I give them the reason why. Um, I'm from a third world country. We're desperately in need of development, and of course, I and my family can't afford that fee. And then, is there a means whereby it can be waived for me and stuff like that? And of course, they responded. Responded basically and said, no, this is a automatic response. This is the personalized response. Hello, Friday. The department has confirmed that the School of Public Affairs, blah, 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 will pay your application fee. Admission is copied here. They will do this to your program, proceed to apply and everything like that. And I got another email letter. The application fee is now charged to the department. Student may move forward. The application is submitted. So if I didn't ask them that pay the application fee for me, they wouldn't pay it.
True.
So sometimes
True.
you just need that extra emailing. Just email them, ask about something. Even if you've been given admission, tell them you can't afford flight tickets and express that you would appreciate if they can pay for you or something. The worst they can tell you is no. That's the worst. No, they're not going to beat you. They're not going to your admission. They're going to tell you we don't have that kind of funding. That's pretty much good. I just share this with that insight into like you can email them. You can ask specifically from the department and they can get to you. I'm going to stop sharing my screen and go back to the slide. Let me see. Slides. Opportunities in the art. Okay. Okay. It's gonna pop up soon, I think. Good. So use the university website. The head of the department, their emails on the website. Let me even tell you some of the things I do. I I am preparing for my PhD later on in the year, around September. What I'll do is I may know the answer to the question, but I just want to get a response from them. I want to know what they would say. So I would look for the head of the department or look for someone whose research is aligned with my area of research and email them. And many of them have responded. In fact, the last one I had was from Columbia University, New York, prestigious Ivy League university too. And just talking with them would boost your confidence, would enable you to understand, okay, this is how they think, this is how they interact. Okay, good, good. You begin to understand how to position yourself. Communication is very important. If they see that you're emailing them, you're asking them questions, they take note of you. That's one thing people need to understand. They take note of you. By the way, I applied to about 7 universities in the UK and I got admitted to all of them. All seven universities I applied to, including Sussex, Lancaster, University of Leicester, and the rest of them, because I was always interacting, and I was always asking questions. They didn't give me funding, of course. I got the Children's Scholarship, but every university I applied to gave me admission, including Notre Dame, but that was pretty much their funding had closed. So once you email them and ask questions, they will definitely give you a response. They will want to hear from you, and that's want to know. Then online forums, this really helped me when I'd already I was trying to process my visa to travel to here to the US and process transcript, and the US embassy in Nigeria trying to apply for visa, trying to navigate the various rules that they have in terms of what's the word now, immigrant intent, not to sort of give the impression that you are immigrating to the US, you're a non-immigrant and things like that. That's one of the reasons why they deny lots of people visa and things like that. So online forums really helped me a lot. Nairaland, I use Nairaland. You can Google, you can search for US F1 visa on Nairaland. And then see what people have posted there and the experiences of people. You can learn a lot from there. Ask questions, go through the history, see what people have done. I think there are also several forums for scholarships. Utilize forums. Now, you don't have anything to lose. Just see what people are saying, see how they are approaching issues, see how they are reflecting on issues. It will really help you a lot in terms of accessing funding and developing funding mechanisms. And networking is also very important. And I would say this, the most important factor apart from hard work to my success is networking. I would never have believed I could win the Children's Scholarship if not for my friend Mike, who won the Commonwealth Scholarship. And I felt like if Mike can do it, I can do it. You know, that was the inspiration, basically. I could never have believed I could, do some of these things if not for Steven. Steven studies in the Netherlands. If I didn't see Steven do it, Steven left from Osun State or thereabout, and he went to the Netherlands and he started. I think he's working right now, if I'm not mistaken. He's working there. I've seen people do this, so it was real to me. People, Nigerians who grew up in Lagos, I could even speak pidgin. People that have hustled their way out of Nigeria. I've done this. It's not a mystery, so I knew I could do it, and I went out to work hard. I networked. I asked questions. I again, when you're asking questions, don't ask questions like share your personal statement with me. Never ask anybody to share their personal statement with you. It just shows that you don't want to do the work. You want them to sort of what's it called, help you. Never ask them to share their personal statement or share their personal documentation with you. Ask them questions based on your situation. Say, okay, this is what I've written, this is where I am. How do I do this? How do I do this? They're willing to help you. But if you say share your personal statement with me, it means you want to maybe copy. You want to look at what they did and just copy, and nobody likes that. I don't like that too. It shows you don't want to do the work, in that respect. And let me tell you, if they see that you're someone who is purposeful, I've shared my personal statements and my achievement essays with a couple of persons, but I saw that they were really, you could see the seriousness. You could see that they were working hard. They were trying. So you're willing to help them. Not like someone just wake up, give me your essays, your achievement essay. And I say, what? Take for free. No. But, that's just very important in terms of getting people to listen to you, in terms of networking. Once you see someone perhaps who's doing something very good or something that's gotten some international opportunities, network with them, ask them questions. I still remember some of the WhatsApp messages I was sent to Steven in the Netherlands. I'll tell him, Steven, I'm trusting God for this. I believe by this time next year I'll be in the UK studying. I needed to give me some advice. I would share my first personal statement was a disaster. I was talking about my childhood experiences. They were like, no, this is a no-go area. No school would admit you with this. You need to do it this way. You need to do it this way. And those really helped me a lot. Networking is really, really key. I remember seeing YouTube videos from Children's Scholars, AFM Stories, Tifer. Is it Tifer's name? I think I've forgotten her name. There are several others on YouTube I was seeing. Several outside from the Caribbean, people who had gotten the Children's Scholarship. I was seeing how they were answering questions, how they positioned themselves. Olarinwaju got the Children's Scholarship. I looked at how he positioned himself. What's his name again? I can't recall this. I've forgotten his name. These guys, they've really got, they work with the cable news. They've gotten the Children's Scholarship before. A couple of guys from the Punch. I saw how people have done it before, and I could draw inspiration. Because if they can do it, you can do it too. That's the key thing. They can do it, you can do it, and you can ask questions and align yourself and see what they do. I would also like to say this. I won't mention the person's name. When I was preparing, I'd already written my achievement essays, like a month to submission, or like 2 weeks to submission. I DM'd on Twitter a achievement scholar, a past achievement scholar. He ignored my message completely. He didn't even answer me. I was like, okay, maybe I'm a nobody. I sent a DM to another one. He blocked me, basically. He didn't respond. He just blocked me. Like, no, I'm not going to I said, I almost shed tears. I was like, okay. I sent an email and a message to the third one. She then looked at my stuff and said, no, she charges $20 an hour. I mean, for one to sort of review personal statement that's, she's busy, she charges $20. I said, okay, that's fine. When I won the Children's Scholarship and I won a scholarship to the US, I then sent her a message that, hello, thanks very much for your help the other time. I won the Children's Scholarship. I also won a scholarship to the US. And we were like, oh, congratulations. And I'm like, okay. You wanted to charge me $20, $20 to do this for me. But I'm telling you this because I was challenged. I've been rejected. I've been ignored by people who had gotten some of these opportunities. And I felt like I could do this. This was my time to really give it my best shot. And it's really important. Then take advice. There are many times I got advice from people, from Michael and from others who would, like, once they look at my sort of statement or something, they say, Friday, you know what? Don't come from this angle, come from this angle. I don't always take all the advice, but it's good to have one or two persons that can advise you, because it's easy to say, oh, Friday won this scholarship and this, but it's not just a self-effort. I wasn't doing it in isolation. I didn't just lock my door, switch up my internet, and I wrote some essays and it got astounding. No, I talked to people who had done it before, and their advice really, really helped me. The third point I would go to is general knowledge. You must expose yourself. Many persons, they're not interested in the world, and that's a big problem. They don't understand. If I ask you what's the current issue the world is facing right now, they can't list them. And it's very difficult for you to look at the white man and convince him that you are an international leader when you can't talk about climate change. Irrespective of your field, you should be able to talk about climate change. It's a big issue in the academia and in society and in the world. You should be able to talk about terrorism, generally insecurity around the world. You should be able to talk about what's it called, building international partnerships and relationships, how it's done, how to network at the international level. These are things that really distinguishes you from the crowd. Someone might be a medical doctor, they might graduate to the first class, but they are not relevant in the international community. They don't know what it means to talk with world leaders, and so they cannot win the Children's Scholarship, no matter how many A's they had in their first degree or the prestigious company they are working for in that respect. These things are important. Watch CNN, watch the BBC, watch channels sometimes. Just understand what's happening in the world. The Ukraine-Russia conflict is going on. Have an understanding of what's going on. Be able to say something when they ask you about these issues, because it shows that you're a leader. When you go out on forums, when I met with the government, I wasn't going to be talking about Nigerian stuff. Come on, I'm not going to be talking about what's happening in my local area in Yaba. I'll be talking about what's happening in the US society and things that are important. But if I'm not expose myself to these, it limits my exposure and my ability to be relevant to the world. I've been studying the British system, the political system and the social system in Britain since around 2014. 2015, 2016, I practically understood the history of the UK, the UK's foreign policy, the reason they had to decolonize, the UK priorities in Nigeria. I knew those things at my fingertips. I understood how the UK works. I understood about my sort of proposal to the UK chieftain authorities was immigration related. I understood all the immigration issues to the letter about the UK. So when they ask me questions about, okay, what would media and international development do for you as a journalist in Nigeria, I was just saying, thank you, Jesus. I finish work. I was telling them about their local policies in the UK. I was telling them about how the UK society operates, the debate in the UK about immigration, the challenge about people overstaying their visas, the Home Office and the challenge of restricting illegal immigration, the Channel crossing and the crossing of the Mediterranean, how those issues impact on British foreign policy. I could tell them what's going on. I knew the Home Secretary, the UK Foreign Secretary, the work they do. I was following all of them on Twitter and Instagram. I knew what was happening in a sense. So that's really, really important. Expose yourself. Someone who just thinks if I'm a pharmacist is enough. No, it's not enough. Or if I'm a journalist in Nigeria reporting on social issues enough. No, it's not enough. Or I am I'm a business major. I'm an accountant. It's just enough. No. These scholarships are designed for people who are perhaps who are not just going to be professionals, but who would be leaders, who would be role models, who will be outstanding in their field in that respect. So tell yourself, if I meet Bill Gates today, what am I going to talk about with Bill Gates? Give me a job? No, not give me a job. You tell him about the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation and the impact of their work in Africa and how that work can be accelerated, how they can help. I mean, if you don't know what Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation is, what can you say with him? You know, that's why some persons will not be able to win these opportunities. It's not because it's a curse or because they don't work hard. They don't understand how the world works, how diplomacy works, how it interacts with people. So you must read widely. And it's not something you do 2 months to the deadline of achieving. No, it has to be a lifestyle such that you do it naturally. You can look at the white man and talk to him and tell him things about Nigeria that he never knew. You can look at him and tell him about things about Africa, because this is what you've been immersed yourself for months, if not years, in that respect. Very, very important in terms of accessing funding opportunities. Currently here in the US, I've applied for a number of opportunities to within my university, and I've gotten some funding. And the basic skills that applying for the Children's Scholarship taught me are still relevant today. And I'm going to talk about that in the next sort of slide. But look at the university website. There's a forum I might want to share. Let me see. For those of us who are looking for opportunities in the US, it's called 4C UI. Let me see if I can just type it. 4I. It's called 4icu.org. 4icu.org. That's what it's called. 4icu.org. You can search for it later. That's a type of searching for universities in North America and the US. So what I did was I searched for my field of study, international development or international studies or international relations. You could search for nursing or biochemistry or engineering. 4icu.org. Yeah, university ranking correct. Bolaji Peter, thank you very much. So once you search, I search for my course and I see all the universities in the US offering that course, and I go to their website and I see the kind of funding they have. Also important, this is a secret also, never talk to admissions directly for funding. Admissions generally get swamped with emails from everybody. Go to your department. If possible, email your head of department, the head of graduate school, particularly for master's degree funding. Don't go to admissions. They don't really know much about that. Go to your department. Be department specific. In fact, once you're applying for grad school, leave admissions alone. Let me tell you a bit of the politics of how it works. Admission sets very strict standards. Your department is more lenient. They are much more flexible. Your department can talk to you as a human being. Admission tells you this is it and that's it. That's fine now. So before I even got here to the US, I'd already been friends with my grad coordinator, my school folks. I'd already developed some kind of relationship with my department already, because they're the people who want you to come and study there for several reasons. I don't want to say that, but they want you to come and study. But the admissions are pretty much, this is a standard. If you can't meet it, fine, go. You know, your department doesn't just go, they're not going to tell you go, because you know why? If they say go, another university will pick you up, will clinch you, they'll take you because you're good at what you do. They want you to come. So focus specifically with your department, the head of department, any school at all you're interested in. Email the head of department, email the head of the grad school, email a particular professor that you intend to work with, ask them questions, tell them about the fund, ask them, okay, I really can't afford it. To be honest, that's another thing. Be honest. I mean, they know you're from Africa. We're not rich in Africa. I'm not from a rich home, basically. Tell them I can't fund my studies. I don't know what kind of fund opportunities you have that is available to me. I would like to explore. They will tell you, oh, I'm sorry, we don't really have so much, but perhaps you can check this and this and this and this. I can tell you, I've gotten that response several times. They will tell you, I can't really help you. I'm sorry, but perhaps you can check this and this and this and this. And that's a lead. You can then move forward with that lead and go forward. Very important. Online forums, interact with people, join as many channels as possible. I was on Telegram. I'm not on Telegram, but I was on Telegram, several groups on Telegram, just feeding on information from different scholarship opportunities. I became so knowledgeable about how this process works. The process of getting transcript, the process of getting what's it called? Visa procedures and all of that. IELTS or TOEFL or just traveling, basically relocating and studying in another country. What does it take? I watched YouTube videos of people who had relocated, and I mean, I remember at the time I used to see podcasts of 7 Nigerians in the US and 7 Nigerians in the UK doing their podcast, and I was just learning, and that's how it works. Network and be very knowledgeable. I'll just make progress now because of time. So distinguishing yourself. People think distinguishing yourself means you would say, I am the vice president of this. I am the president of this. The white man doesn't really, they freak him, basically. Let me put it that way. It doesn't freak him. Like, oh, he's the vice president of this. Great. That's good. But it's more like, who are you? What are your values? What are your priorities? What are your convictions? What is your vision for Nigeria? What have you demonstrated over time? That's what they're looking out for. So you must have a track record of character and attitude. And when I say track record of character, that is, it's not just saying I have a good character or I have a good behavior. No, I said that, okay, I've worked in Nigeria, I've worked in Kenya, the Central African Republic, Togo, and Benin Republic. I've done community development work. I have interacted with people from various backgrounds and various faiths and various belief systems and various cultures, and I was able to influence them towards doing this particular project with proofs. I was able to leave my country and go to this country and influence these people to do this particular social good. That's your demonstrating leadership. You're not telling them I'm a leader, I'm the director of this organization, but I'm demonstrating it. When you say demonstration of character, I developed a budget of, let's say, 1.5 million naira, and I was able to manage this budget to do this and do this and do this and remit back to the account, or able to give a good account. That is character. You're demonstrating character. Then by saying all this, you're demonstrating initiative. That is attitude, initiative. These are the things they look out for. So when I say I've worked on AIT, I've worked on Uniben FM, I've worked on Bronze FM Benin City, great, but what did you do? In these places, I honed my skills. I developed my broadcasting and writing and speaking skills. I was able to go out there and report on socio-economic issues that changed people's perspective about this issue, or that impacted people's perspective about this issue. It's important to learn how to do that. Then another thing, unique experiences. Every person is different. Mike's experience is different from my experience. You must you must have some unique experiences that you must have to share. In my own case, I'd worked as a journalist, I'd worked as a social development worker. I grew up in a relatively poor background. While I was growing up, I was displaced because there was a crisis in Warri at the time, the intertribal ethnic conflict, and we're displaced from our homes. So my parents, my father, my mother, we had to leave home. And I was going to discuss, I was going to talk about migration and displacement of populations, and it has affected me personally. You see that connection? It has affected me personally, and I have learned and I've become a journalist, and I feel I'm inspired to provide solutions to these problems. That's how it works. You are able to show your unique experiences. So if someone just picks my experience, copied my personal statement, it's not gonna. You can't demonstrate it. You can't prove it. In that respect, you must be able to show unique experience. I think one of the unique experiences I talked about was the fact that I was able to organize. I mean, that outreach really surprised me. We had over 90 volunteers, 92 volunteers at Elegushi in Lekki, in Lagos. It was Elegushi beach, where we have the current Elegushi beach in Lekki. There was a slum around that area. We did an outreach there. And I was able to get people from NYSC, the core members. I was able to get a couple of churches to partner with us and a couple of groups to bring Bibles and all of that to do that outreach. We interacted with over 400 persons, give them medical aid, and we're also able to I was able to sort of put together 90 volunteers, impact about 400 people plus, get them medical health, medical care, medical supply. The community health improved. Life, some persons that would otherwise have done self-medication, they got some attention. These are the outcomes I'm talking about here. You must have some unique experience that are very different. I mean, they asked me about my report on national TV about electronic voting. I did a report. I might even show you guys a report at some point. I might show you guys a report if I have some time on electronic voting in Nigeria. You see, these are not things I'm just saying. I demonstrated them, and I told them how I went out, contacted people, went out on the election day, interviewed people, did the report in the studio. It was broadcast on AIT, and perspectives changed. It impacted people. It was broadcast to I've said over 500,000 homes. It could be more because AIT is international, not just local. People from the US can watch AIT from other parts of the world. Your unique experience. What is that thing that you have done that makes you outstanding? It could be like, I was telling someone that being a teacher, there's a way you can position yourself and package it. It can be very striking. Always look at the outcome. You're a teacher in a school. What did you do? And what are the outcomes that came out of what you do? You could say I was a teacher of over, let's say, 15 pupils. And because of my tutelage to them, at the end of the academic term, their grades improved 50%. Their grades improved by 100%, or they were able to pass their final exams, or you might be a worker in an office. You can say, because of my accounting skills or something, the bottom line of the company improved. Look at the outcomes of your unique experiences, the impact, the difference you're able to make. That's also very, very significant. Then honesty, don't tell lies, because they will find out. Don't tell lies in your application. Don't say I've done this when you haven't done this. Don't say I was able to reach 1,000 persons, meanwhile you reach 300 persons. People do that and they get into trouble. Be very honest, and that's where God will back you up. I'm telling you the truth. Be very honest. God Himself will help you when you're honest, and when you're dishonest and you're manipulating information and all of that. Your story will not even be straight. So be very honest. Then, knowledge, like I've said before, read wide, expose yourself. There are times I would just watch YouTube videos on issues. I'll just watch the UK House of Commons proceedings. I know how the UK House of Commons work. I knew how the average British person thinks. These are the things that makes you unique. With the way you write, would that even reflect that? I'm going to talk about writing a bit later, but expose yourself to how their system works, such that you can easily assimilate in that respect. I was telling Emmanuel before we started the session, I'm a Nigerian by citizenship. My citizenship by birth is a Nigerian, but I'm a global citizen. I was born in Nigeria. I'm a Nigerian citizen, but my approach, my outlook is global. If your outlook is not global, there's going to be a problem, because you only be seen from the Nigerian perspective. And let me tell you, most people in the world don't think from the Nigerian perspective. I can tell you that 90% or more of the people in the world don't think from the African perspective. So you must be able to demonstrate that knowledge, that you know what's going on in Europe, you understand what's going on in America, you understand what's going on in the UN, you understand what's going on with NATO and the EU and the US-China relations and the South Pacific, Southeast Asia. You must be able to, because that's what gives you the confidence to make your argument strong. Very important. Then demonstration, like I've said before, you must be able to demonstrate knowledge and insight, be able to demonstrate it. Don't just say it, demonstrate it. I think okay, that's pretty much what I have to share here. I might just share a bit more. Let me see if I open the floor for questions. I want to see if I can share a report I did. Let me see. Okay. This is pretty much okay. No, let me see. Let me share my screen. I think I have about 15 minutes before I don't know. Let me just share my screen real quick. Just show you a few things. Or better still, let me see. I'll just hesitate. Iman, I don't know if you can come on screen or something. I think they can start sending in questions now. I would hesitate because of time, because I need to answer the questions.
Okay. Thank you so much, Friday. Thank you so much for taking out your time to run through so many of these sections as we were talking. Okay. But then quickly before we start taking in questions, you can leave your questions in the comment section, okay? If there are parts you need to go over, you can leave your comments in the section. But quickly, I would want you to talk about Chevron essays. Okay,
good.
I think that is though the theme, the focus here is for following up what is in the heart, but there are many persons who want to ace the Chevron essays. Okay, and I'd like you to quickly run through how we were able to create wonderful essays that got your interest, because like I said, I did a quick research. About 2 to 3% of applicants actually get the Chevron essay, so that's a very small percentage. So let us know how you were able to do it. Yes, quickly.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much. I remember when I just started the Chevron application, it was like my brain was about to burst open. Like, where am I going to start? I know I have all these experiences, but how do I make the narrative strong enough? How do I? They said almost all the graduates in Nigeria are applying for this thing. How would I do it? It was very intimidating at first, but let me be honest, it was intimidating. But I started from somewhere, so that's the point. Start from somewhere. I'll just share a bit of snapshot of experience. I think I submitted on the deadline about an hour before. No, about 10-15 minutes before the deadline. That's when I submitted. So
amazing.
And I worked on my essay overnight. I've been writing the essay ever since, but I remember I worked from around 9 p.m. the previous day till around 10 p.m. the next day, 10 a.m. the next day. I didn't sleep. And before I submitted my essay that day, after working, I knelt down in my room like this and I did like that. I said, God, you know how much work I've put into this. I've been working on this. Please help me. you know, I was literally begging, and I just said, okay, I clicked on send and I sent and everything. But let me give you details about specifics about the essay. The first
Yeah.
question we talk about identify leadership, sort of how you demonstrated leadership and stuff like that. The first sort of essay question. So what the first thing you need to know is you don't have all the time and all the space. It's about 500 words, right? I think. So you must be very specific. Specificity is the key. You must be very specific. Don't Every word must be deliberate. You must be very specific. So I did an outreach. So I said um in November, let's example now, in June 2017, Elegushi community in Lekki was facing um some health challenges in quote. I
Okay.
mobilized 90 volunteers, um reached out to 400 persons with healthcare facilities, and 50% of them were men, 20% of them were women. And we spent this amount of money, and this was the outcome we got out of it. And because of this experience, I learned this and this and this. So the key to the essays is like you must be making a difference. Show us the state of the community before you came in. Tell us what you did. Tell us the outcome of what you did with facts and figures. That's where it's very hard.
Amazing. Amazing.
That's where it's very hard.
So,
So it's not
mhm,
something that you can lie about, because you will need to
mm,
talk about this in the next set of essays again. But I talk about three experiences, which is my leadership experience with the outreach, my um it was two, I think it was two, my other sort of report with on AIT on the electronic voting. So you must be able to demonstrate knowledge that you went there. This was the problem that you met at the time, and you have so much time, you don't have all the words to use, so you must be very. My skill as a journalist helped me, I would admit. So I'm a journalist. I've been writing and reporting for quite some time, so I've been
okay.
writing basically. So but you must be able to demonstrate the state of affairs before you came in, before you went to that community, before you joined that organization, before you started doing what you were doing, before you started demonstrating leadership, before you took that position. What was the challenge that was on ground? Document it. What you did. Try to be as specific as possible. The number of volunteers or the number of people you worked with, the outcome you also got out of it. Those are, I would say, that is the leg I was standing on to develop my essays. And then you must be coherent. When I mean coherence, when I talk about the three essays, you understand. The first essay is aligning with the second essay, and is aligning with what you intend to do. That's what makes cheating very tasking. So I'm saying I'm intervening in the community. I'm saying I'm broadcasting social political issues about Nigeria. The next essay, I was
Yes.
talking about how I networked with someone. I was able to bring them in from what's it called? A friend of mine was from Germany or Austria or something. She wanted to come into Nigeria to report on the insurgents in the northeast, and she couldn't come in because Nigerian authorities didn't give her a visa. And she emailed me like Friday. I mean, she was chatting on WhatsApp at the time. Friday, well, can you? I don't know, I'm having difficulty. I'm like, I can do that. So I wrote a letter of invitation for her. Hello, Nigerian
Amazing.
Embassy in Germany. My name is Friday Otuya. I'm a journalist here in Lagos, Nigeria. Alicia is coming to stay with me in Lagos. She wasn't going to stay with me anyway. She's coming to stay with me. Like, I'm going to be taking her around to see Lagos and stuff. Like, she's going to be a tourist. I was able to help her, and I sent that letter to her, and then she was able to apply with the letter, and she was able to get a visa, and she was able to come to Nigeria and Lagos, and then we saw, and then we interacted in Lekki, and then she flew out to Maiduguri to do the things she went to, and then she went back to Germany. In that respect, that shows networking, capacity to influence beyond your country. I met her on this social platform called Host Writer for journalists, called Host Writer. That's why I met her. We wanted to do some work together, to do some freelance work for her, but it didn't work out again. But I networked with her, connected with her. She was able to come to Nigeria with me. She was able to get her report sorted out here to go back. I was even able to get some connections with her in terms of my publishing some work in some, because I'm interested in Africa, some African nations. I was
Amazing.
able to get some line with her to do some reportorial stuff with a publisher in Germany, and it was even possible. Part of my proposal was that my sort of work will be published in Germany, and that's still possible. I still have Alicia's contact. The capacity to influence people beyond Nigeria is what Chipman looks at. It shows that you can be a global leader, and you can see that I didn't go to the UK for the Chipman scholarship, but in the US I've been networking. It's who I am. It's not because of the Children's Scholarship I started networking. Even if I didn't win the Children's Scholarship, I was still networking. I was networking. I mean, the governor's picture, the senator's picture, and several other groups also around campus, and of course, other parts of the US. You know, that ability to build meaningful social relationships that can make a difference in society is important. I also talk about when the first time I went to Spain for a sort of conference to, that was at the Mobile World Conference. I met with what's her name again? Claire Siptop. She's the head of women's in the GSME or something. I was able to interview her. It was broadcast on AIT during the show Digivation Network on AIT, and it was the impact, the knowledge or something from that report was able to impact people in Nigeria. And I was able to give them stats figures for that, like AIT affect which is the home of at least a million Nigerians. But although I said 500,000, it was broadcast on national TV. I was able to network with Claire Siptop and to be able to do that. And I think it was around that time I also interviewed another person from the GSMA, this head of the GSMA in Nigeria, Akinwale. Akinwale Goodluck is on my YouTube channel or something, Smart Nation TV. I was able to interact with him and interview him based on those relationships I built.
Yeah, built over time. Yes.
And these are relationships, these are not just local relationships, these are relationships that extend beyond Nigeria. That's what makes you a Chieftain scholar. So when they say he's a Chieftain scholar, it's not just I graduated with the first class, no, or I am well spoken, no. It is, can you develop relationships? Can you make a difference? How would you be able to utilize international networks and international system? All things being equal, I should be going to London for research. I'm in the US, but I'm going to London for my sort of field research in the summer. It's all an endeavor of initiative. I've never been to London. I've never been to New York, but I'm going to these cities because these are skills Chieftain forced out of me. Ability to be able to connect with people. I've already connected with a professor in London. I've already connected with a couple of persons, emailed a couple of persons. That ability to connect with people beyond your immediate surrounding, irrespective of your field, is what makes you a Chieftain scholar in that respect. So it's important.
Amazing.
The second essay about networking. Then the third is about what you intend to do. The third is the part that got me so much excited. Oh no, there's an essay on networking. There's an essay on how your studies in the UK would help you to impact your country. I was going to be studying media and international development at three universities, University of Lancaster, University of East Anglia, and University of Leicester. And I was able to demonstrate how each of those courses I was going to study was going to give me certain insight and knowledge, and how those insights and knowledge was going to help me make a difference in Nigeria. That's why I say you can't tell lies and win the Chieftain scholarship. You can't pretend about it. You must be who you are. I was able to tell them I'm going to study media and international development because the outcome of these courses is going to give me this knowledge about how the media and how development works, and it's going to help me to come back to Nigeria to contribute my knowledge through this TV program called what's it called again? Green Pastures. That was the TV program I proposed. Green Pastures TV show that was going to tackle issues that are related to migration, illegal immigration, displacement of persons in the northeast and the north central of Nigeria and things like that. I was able to prove how my background in terms of social development and social intervention works in Africa and Nigeria, and parts of Africa, was able to help me develop a background to be relevant to study media and international development in the UK, and the outcomes I intend to get from these courses. That's what makes you a Chieftain scholar. And then you tell them about your short-term goals. When they asked me about my goals, I told them about my short-term goals, medium-term goals, and long-term goals. Short-term goals, of course, I intend to I think my short-term goal is to return and start up a TV program called Green Pastures. Medium-term goal is to work with the UK embassy or UK presence in Nigeria to develop a series of short documentaries that highlight the UK's developmental stride in Nigeria for the last 60 years. UK have been awarding Chieftain scholars, Chieftain awards since the 1980s to Nigerians. How have these scholars fared? What's the impact of the UK in terms of practical developmental impact or input in the Nigerian society? I wanted to create a documentary on that, and that's practical. It's tangible. They can feel it. The first was I was going to come back and start up a TV program, and that's pretty much my field. I'm a journalist by training. I can sort of produce a documentary. I can interview people, go out, set up stuff, and things like that. The last point I told them I was going to get a PhD, which is one of the reasons I came to the US. Also, I was going to get a PhD, and I was going to I want to contribute to Nigeria in terms of policy. at the national level, basically. I want to be able to develop expertise at the PhD level, do some research, and be able to come back and be able to contribute to my country in terms of policy making. Because the UK is looking at, there's something people don't understand also. It's like investing money, basically. You want to invest your money in the person that would give you the highest level of returns. So when they saw this person's short-term plans, this person medium-term plans, this person's long-term plan, they were like, no, no, we're going to give you this. You are going to be adding value to the UK in so many respects in Nigeria. And let me tell you, they are selfish, and that's fine. Every human being is selfish. They want to leverage on you to increase the UK's impact in Nigeria. That's the Children's Scholarship. It's not because they like your face or because they like you where you talk. They're looking at how much potential does this person have to become a leader in Nigeria. Let's say the minister one day, or the governor one day, or the ambassador one day. That would then enhance the friendship between the UK and Nigeria. That would increase the connection between the UK and Nigeria, that will strengthen the ties between both countries. So when you're telling them about the things you would learn in the UK and the things you would do in Nigeria, practical things that would benefit the UK, they are interested. And these are things I learned by watching series of videos and learning about the UK priorities online and crafting a statement that takes cognizance of my background, take cognizance of my networking skills, takes cognizance of my education I was going to get in the UK, and connect that to the future aspirations I have. And the thing just
Amazing.
made sense. Anyway, I'm going to leave it
Amazing.
here because of time. I have a lot to say, but more questions, please. Time is not our friend.
Amazing, amazing. Thank you for taking us through the specifics, like you rightly stated. You have to be specific. Think like an investor, like you rightly stated. The UK is investing money, so they want returns on their investment. They want ROI. So when you're writing, you should not just think about you just writing for sake of writing. No, ensure you're able to present good and valuable points that would have massive impact over time. Okay, so please,
Mhm.
for those who Chevron that says application probably should start, is not ongoing at the moment.
It's going
So
to be.
if in case you're interested in that, yeah, you should just have this at the back of your mind. And thank you so much, Friday, for this impactful session. If you're still with us, I want to get your comments. Let us know how this session has been for you, and we want to take more questions now at the moment. Okay, so if you have questions as well, you can let drop your questions in the comments. If there are some gray areas you like him to highlight, okay, I don't know. For me also, I think probably review the forums. How you mentioned you briefly. I think you already mentioned it anyways, but how to locate the information about the department, the emails, how you're able to access them, how you're able to reach out to them, the forums. I want to just quickly highlight on that again.
Okay.
Just be a quick recap.
Let me give you. Once you go to any university website, maybe the University of Lancaster, or the University of Birmingham, or University of East Anglia, that's our UK universities, or it could be the University of South Carolina, or North Carolina, or Georgia, or there are up to 1,000 universities in the US. Once you go to any university, there's an option called academics. Go to academics and go to graduate sort of. In the US, it's called graduate school. In the UK, it's called postgraduate school or something. Go to graduate sort of courses, and then look for the courses you want to study or you're interested in studying, and from there you can link to the department. Once you get to some of the most times in in the US, the department has a separate website. Once you get to the website, their emails are always there. The head of department, the head of graduate school, their contact email. What I do is this: since I'm a graduate student, I email the head of graduate school while copying the head of department and copying their normal email and copying some other persons, basically. And you
Okay,
can't go
okay,
wrong with copying. Basically, the worst that would happen is that the person will not respond. You can't go wrong with copying. Copying has helped me a lot. In fact, just February here, I was trying to contact a professor in terms of potential PhD advisors, and I said, "Well, how am I going to do this?" I said, "Okay, I'm going to email the department to ask this question, but I'm going to copy all the professors who have an interest in this area." And when I emailed the department wasn't giving me the response I wanted. Then the professors intervened. When they saw the response of the department, they were like, no, let me just intervene. The professors intervened. So that's what happens sometimes when you copy some professors there. Just look for their email. This is their email, put it there, let them see it. Look for their email, put it there. When you're asking the department a question about funding, the department may give you a general response, but the professor who's seen your question would understand that I was once in this person's shoes. I was once looking for opportunities too. We're all human beings. I was once looking for graduate opportunities, and then they would say, okay, I would give you a personalized response. I would ask you to check out this link, and I've gotten that several times. That's the way to go about it. The website academics academic section, and then you go to that course you want. From that course, you'll be able to link to the department. That's where you go. Don't do things with the admissions section. This is my personal advice. If you talk to school admissions, they will not give you a personalized response. Don't talk to school admissions. They are just doing their job, which is to admit qualified students. We wish them well. Your department can see your potential, even if you don't meet the base standards. Your department can see your potential, then they can help you. What I would just say again, apart related to that, is utilization of forums. There are be on Telegram. I would advise you be on Telegram. There are several forums for Commonwealth Scholarship, Chieftain Scholarship, Erasmus, and several. They just search for them, or some of your friends who are there can add you up. Also, follow some YouTube channels. Since I came to the US, of course, I deactivated my subscription for some of them because I wasn't interested in some of those. I mean, I've gotten the opportunities. I'm not interested in those things anymore. But if you're interested in the Chieftain Scholarship, follow Chieftain Scholars who have YouTube channels. There are some classic what's it called, Chieftain mock interviews on YouTube. That is what's this guy's name? I'm forgetting. He's on Twitter. Olarewaju Gideon, and a few others. They did a fantastic Chieftain mock interview. I devoured that interview. I remember watching that interview in my room around October, September last year. No, 2 years ago rather. October, September 2020. I was practically wringing out all the facts I could from the way Olarewaju Gideon was answering those questions, from the way he was positioning himself. And I was trying to relate and think, how can I do the same? So take advantage of those resources on YouTube, including King's Square in INK. Also take advantage of it to really help. Nairaland really helped when I was trying to process visa and trying to understood what, because I mean, you could get a scholarship and you could get funding, but you can still be denied your visa if you don't understand some things. When you're asked some basic questions, put God first, but also do the work. That's what I say. I prayed, I did the right thing that we Nigerians do pray, but do the hard work. I normally say that Nigerians were Christians, we're good people, we're not bad people. God is not against us in Nigeria. No, you're not the worst sinner in the world or something. What's missing there is the hard work part, the ability to connect all the dots and cross all the T's and dot all the I's. Make sure you do everything humanly possible from your part. Then God would be able to help you. God is not against you coming to the US or the UK to study. It's the right thing to do. In fact, I was telling Emmanuel that the average UK and US institution wants you to come. They can't wait for you to come. They are desperate for you to come. They are not trying to. They want you to come. After that, I used to think that maybe they don't want people like us to come. I was like, wow, they can't wait to have you. Whether you're a pharmacist, you're a doctor, you're a lawyer, they can't wait to have you. You know why? Because they believe the greatest wealth of any nation is the people, the human capital, the brain power. The people who can create, who can think in the sciences, in the social sciences, in the arts, who can use their human capacity. You saw me working while I'm in public radio. Who is benefiting from that? The people of America, not Nigerians. You saw me as I'm working as a grad assistant. Who benefits? It's the people of the US. They pay me, yes, great, but the country is benefiting from it. So we don't know that you're going to the UK to do your Chieftain Scholarship. It's great, it's for you. The UK is also benefiting. It's a small investment. How much? How was the money? Just about let's say 100,000 or 50,000 pounds, basically small money. You're gonna come and study, but the return on investment that you're going to have in your country and the impact you're going to have in helping Nigeria and the UK to connect is beyond money. It's money cannot buy it. So they want you to come. Have that at the back of your mind that you're not going to be. You're not going to. I know it took me a while to understand this because in Nigeria, you're pretty much. I mean, the educational institution I grew up in, I studied in Uniben. Uniben, I studied. So I understood how some of this, how the sort of academia student relationship work is pretty much sort of not very nice. But here they want you to come and study. Have that at the back of your mind. Approach them, email them, be confident about your abilities, be confident about your skills, be confident about the things you want to contribute to your country, and of course you get some of these opportunities. I don't know if there are more questions or if I touch on every area. Mike, I'm just speaking of the hook. I also have some points here though. I don't know.
Okay.
While I'm looking for questions,
you could just do a brief recap while we get 1 or 2 more questions. Just do a brief recap generally, and then we take 1 or 2 questions that'll come. Otherwise, I believe everybody. There have been wonderful comments. Osabue Esther is saying, "Wow, thank you, sir." Paul is saying, "Wow, thank you, sir." So I'm sure many persons are getting value already. You've highlighted a couple of very important things. So we just like to just do a brief recap, and then we'll call it a day.
Okay, okay. I'll just see if I can make it 5 minutes max. I would also say this, like I said at the outset, it's very possible. It's very possible. And believe it is possible. It is possible that by this time next year, some of you will be in the US studying. It's possible. Or the UK studying. It's possible. It's not a mystery. I will also say this. I didn't write IELTS. I didn't write TOEFL. I didn't write in an English language test. Most graduate school in the UK would waive that test for you, but in the US, they might want to insist you can write it. I only wrote a test called what's it called again? Oral proficiency interview by computer, because I'm a teaching assistant. I teach undergrads and I grade them. So they want to test my English language to see if it's good enough to stand before people and speak and all of that. That's why I did that test. But some schools will not require IELTS, they will not require TOEFL, because that was really a huge stumbling block for me. I was going to raise over 100,000 naira just to write basic test, and you're not even guaranteed of admission. So that's really important too. I would also say, as you look at Nigeria, I told a friend this quite recently. Look at Nigeria. Tie yourself to a problem. Don't just position yourself. I tied myself to the problem of illegal migration from Nigeria to the UK and the US. Nigerians just go to the UK and then overstay their visa. They don't want to come back anymore. They come to the US and like, I came to visit, but when their visit become lifetime visitation, they don't want to come back anymore. You know, so I focused on that issue of people who are overstaying their visas, and the source of that problem is that because there are many issues to that. And I wanted to tackle that. I focused on the issue of illegal migration. Nigerians were leaving from Nigeria, going to Kano, going to the Sahara Desert to Libya, and crossing the Mediterranean Sea to Europe. And that's a problem. They're dying in the thousands, particularly from the area I studied, Benin City. It's quite prevalent. People want to go to Europe by all means. You know, I focus on that issue. I focus on the issue of displacement and insurgency. In the central region, we have the Fulani headsmen and issue and farmer headsmen clashes. In the northeast, you have the Boko Haram insurgency displacing people. And I looked at the ability, my studies equipping me with the knowledge to be able to contribute to the UN's sort of work in Nigeria. So I'm saying all this to tie yourself to a big point. Might be health, might be elections, it might be poverty alleviation, might be women empowerment, it might be gender equality, it might be, I mean, things around gender equality, even to some extent. I know it's banned in Nigeria. LGBTQ stuff gets a lot of attention in the Western world. Gender equality, LGBTQ rights, those things really ring a bell, because that's where the academia is really strong. You know, what else would I say again? Then work hard. Give people your essay to read. Not everyone is a great writer, but give people your essays to read. Let them read through your essays and just test the waters. Share your essays with people. Many people will reject you. Now, let me make it clear. Many persons will not have your time. Many persons will reject you, but be purposeful. Put it in prayer and just keep giving it your best shot. Keep giving it your best shot. Read wide. Do a lot of research. Read wide. I mean, most of the things I know is not because I went to the University of Benin. It's great. It's not a classroom I learned. I do most of my learning on the internet, YouTube. I watch lots of YouTube historical videos. I read articles online. I follow the BBC. I follow CNN. I want to know what's happening in the world. It helps you to connect the dots. It helps you to connect the dots about things. You can say, okay, if this is happening in the US and this is happening in the UK, then this must be important. Migration is the most important issue, apart from climate change. The most important socio-political issue facing the UK and the US is migration. That's one of the reasons why Donald Trump came into power, because illegal immigration from the southern border of the US. And that really gets a lot of attention here in the US. We don't want illegal immigrants coming to the US. The UK also is a big issue now for the Conservative Party, illegal migration and people coming to the UK without visas and coming on dinghy boats. We want to stop that. So anyone who's doing anything on that would definitely stand out. These are things that are relevant to the white man, basically. I'm just speaking on that respect. So if you're not exposed, you'll be speaking from your limited perspective. Reading wide helps to broaden your perspective. What else would I say again? Then networking is also important. Your teachers from school, they will be important to you. They wrote some powerful recommendation letters for me. So my professors in Uniben, I salute them. They really, like, when they finish writing those recommendation letters, I'm like, wow. some personal experiences they had with me. I was very active in class. I was one of the best in my class, basically. I was very active in my class back in Uniben, Mass Communication Department. I graduated 2015. So those were, I reached out, I said, Oga sir, I beg you, I want to apply for this scholarship. Please write something very powerful for me. I beg, sir. I appealed and appealed. So they wrote some things that are very, very unique and very special. And in fact, some of them will tell you, Chooks, you know what, or Friday, you know what, send me a sample of what you want it to look like. I will modify it. They trust me to that point. Send me a sample of what you want it to look like, you know. But if you don't have that relationship with them, if you're always abusing them and not, they're posting on Facebook, you don't even like, you don't even comment, how would they be able to connect to you at that level? They wrote some very strong recommendation. My recommendation letter from my boss at Ikeja, Lagos. It was powerful. Like when Mike read, Mike was like, Friday. This also matters. Networking, the relationship you build with people matters a lot in terms of how they help to accelerate you in terms of opportunities. What can I say again? Then be on the lookout. Sometimes you may not get it at once. Be on the lookout. Apply for several opportunities. I wasn't thinking Chairman. I wasn't thinking Commonwealth. And I was just thinking of one of the Swedish Institute's scholarship. They call it SIGP or something. I was thinking of that because I felt, the competition for that will not be strong. Chevening was like the cream of the cream. Apply for Chevening. But it's not so. If you follow some of these tips I've given you, what you graduated from school does not, your first class degree is what is important in Chevening. No. It doesn't help the UK. You know, graduated with a first class from with biochemistry. Great. How does that help the UK? That's what, once you're able to understand all this context, it positions you as a Chevening scholar. I said to myself, whether or not I am happy, I'm proud of it. I put it everywhere, Chevening scholar. But I am a Chevening scholar inherently. It's not the title that makes you. It has to be within you inherently. That's the best I gotta say.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Friday Otuya. I am actually even speechless. I'm literally speechless. You've literally poured out your heart, and I want to really appreciate you for taking out your time for this wonderful session. You've taken our time to highlight so many things, so much. And then if you're still here, I want you to if you're yet subscribe to our channel, you should subscribe. Okay. There is a previous video we did with Dave Michaels. He's a Commonwealth scholar based in the UK, Imperial College London. So you should be able to navigate both. With this, you're able to compare, contrast, you're able to add to your knowledge that you already have. Okay, and be able to build. You know what to do. You know the steps to take already. You should take our time to reach out to the professors, build relationship. Yeah, I liked it a lot about networking. It is very important that you network. You must network. It is important. Okay, tie yourself to a problem. Look at solving one or two problems. Okay, solve problems. Solve problems. Focus on the problems. Don't just come generally. Okay, focus on specifics. Focus on specifics and be unique. Highlight your unique experiences. Okay, be able to carefully curate your experience and make sure that you're striking specific chords. Don't just, you mentioned a bit about writing. Don't just write generally. No. Okay. Read through each school. What are they talking about? What are they looking for? Okay. Think like them. You're putting money, you want to invest in this individual. And you also mentioned something very important. They want us to come. Okay. So if you're here, you're needed. You're needed over there. Okay. So
You're very much. I would also add this quick, but I know most of us are here in Nigeria. I mean, the whole thing about when I came to the US, this is practical. When I came to the US, I was like,
yes.
Where are the people? I thought they say America has so many people. I mean, where are the people? Where are the Nigerians? It's a big country. There is acre and acre of space. There are places like, I'm being honest with you guys. They are looking for people to work. They can't find people to work. No one is willing to take the jobs. You know, it's like, yeah, you're like, oh, immigration in the year, but where are the people? You can hardly find a city of 2-3 million people in the US. It's very rare. Apart from New York, the West Coast, and the East Coast, you can't really find a city of 3 million people. It's really hard to find. And Lagos is like 20 million. Benin is like over 5 million. You know?
Amazing.
So lots
amazing.
of opportunities.
Amazing. So thank you guys once again. You guys should share this video with your friends, your family, those who are interested. Okay, we don't just want persons randomly. Share persons who are interested. You don't have to convince anybody. Okay, Friday are taking out time already. You already know the situation of things. You already know your goals. What are your aspirations? If this is something you're looking for, you want to get out of the country via education, okay, which is a very, very good route for you to utilize, okay. So take your time, go through the video, share with your friends, subscribe to our channel if you haven't. We're still going to be having another wonderful session, okay? Over and over again. This is a masterclass series, okay? It's a block, okay? So it's not going to end. We may even have
Yeah.
Friday join us one other time, okay? So please,
Mm-hmm.
you guys
I,
should share,
it is
okay?
it's worth saving for, it's worth going hungry for, it's worth striving for. I didn't
Mm,
pay anything to come to this country to study. Basically,
amazing,
I didn't
amazing,
pay anything. I'm studying, I'm being paid to study, I'm doing good by the grace of God. So
amazing.
it's worth striving for. It's worth focusing and saying, I would do this and being disciplined for. It's worth giving yourself a year to say, I would do it. Because if you're able to access some of these opportunities, and see, let me tell you, they know you want these opportunities, not as if they know you want to come. Let's be honest, the standard of living here is higher than Nigeria. Let's be honest, it's better. They know you want to come, but you have to give them a reason. You have to tell them that, see, I'm the guy you're looking for. Now, maybe the guy who you define, you know, I'm the person you
I
need.
get that. True,
Yeah.
true, true. So thank you so much, Friday. I know you still have a lot to say. Oh dear. If you miss this session, I don't know what to tell you. Okay, if you miss this session, I don't know what to tell you. But luckily for you, we'll be uploading this video. Okay, so you'll be able to watch the replay. And I don't know, in case any one or two persons want to connect with you, how can they reach you? In case one or two
Um,
persons want to connect with you.
okay, I get lots of messages sometimes, and I have been very, very like sometimes I don't respond as much as possible. Again, I want to see seriousness. Like not everyone, someone will just chat you like, oh, just tell me this, tell me that. I want people who are purposeful or something. I can't just I can't chat with everybody, and I'm also busy working. So you can connect with me on Instagram, but I want to see. Yeah, I really prefer you sharing something like, okay, my name is John Samuel. I am interested in studying this particular course
Okay,
in
okay.
the
What about
UK
your
or in the
mail?
U. My
What about
you can
your
do
mail?
email. Do email, but
Okay, okay,
like I may not likely accept a friend request of somebody who I think they're just passing by and just saying hi and just want me to talk or something. I
okay,
want people who,
okay,
if you're really working on something and you want tips, connect. But you can only
okay,
send me an email. My email is FROTUYA
okay.
@gmail.com. FROTUYA @gmail.com.
RO, okay,
FROTUYA @gmail.com. Frutuya @gmail.com.
okay. I'm going to make that into a banner so everybody can see.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm-hmm.
okay, I think this is it, right? Frutia
YA,
at
YA,
gmail.com.
YA,
Okay,
YA.
okay, YA.
But please be very purposeful. I will not be able to just and also let me also say this. Um I don't know. I'm open to doing this, Emmanuel, but I don't want people to swamp me with too many messages. I will not be able to review so many personal statements and do all those things. That's what Emmanuel does. Emmanuel can help you review personal statements and all those things. Don't
No,
say,
that's
"Oh,
true.
this me." I don't want to charge anybody, and I'm very busy too, so I don't know. So you can
Yeah,
ask me questions and tips. I can, and I do more with voice. And I may not be able to chat. I will send you a voice note to explain to you based on what I've seen you
okay,
share with me. If you
okay.
can, if you want to chat me on Instagram or something. But my email is there, FROTY @gmail.com, and you can connect.
All right. Thank you so much. We've gotten to the end of today's session. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much, Friday, for taking out your time to really give us a wonderful session. And thank you, everybody. Do have a lovely night rest if you're in Nigeria or wherever it is that you are. Okay, enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you, and bye, everybody.
Bye.